Hey guys, Welsknight here, bringing another brand new episode in my Minecraft 1.8 single-player survival series, and in this episode we're going to be doing some more work on our house that we've been working on now for a couple of episodes. Last time we filled in the walls, and we did a little bit of work out here as well. So, what we need to do first, before we can continue the next stage of our little project, is we really need to get the floor slash first floor ceiling put in right here. So that is what we are going to do. Let's go ahead and kind of, I guess we'll just pillar jump our way up there. Let's see, we want... there we go, we got it. We got it. We'll just make ourselves some scaffolding here so we can get up. And there we go. So what I'm going to use up here is I'm going to use oak wood, because it will match the rest of, it'll match the floor down there. It'll mean that all the floors in this house have, you know, the same texture and whatnot, which I think is really kind of important, at least to some extent. But there is a lot of floor to be filled in. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and do a little time lapse here, and I will be back in just a moment. Alright guys, I am back, and we've got that all nice and filled in up here now. Now there's a few things that we can maybe do. I'm thinking that one thing that we should do is we should replace this little section of the floor with oak. And the reason that I'm saying that is that way we don't have to have the layout of the house be exactly the same on the upstairs and the downstairs. I really don't think that that's the kind of look and feel that we're going for. I want them to be, you know, distinctly different. So we're going to make a few little modifications over here. Let's just fill all of this stuff in as we go along here. And that shouldn't be, there we go. We should be able to get that all done pretty easily. I'm going to finish replacing this, and I'll be back in just a second. Alright guys, and welcome back. And we have all of that nicely filled in now so that we can modify it as needed. The next step is going to be to put well, not necessarily to put the windows in, but at least to mark the windows. We're going to want to mark the windows. So I think what I'm going to use for that is I'm just going to use these oak blocks like this. And we know that there's a gap of 3 between every window. Except for right... Oh no, there still is a gap of 3, even with the door. Okay, awesome. So we can just count 1, 2, 3, and we'll mark these. Because we do want the windows to match up with the downstairs. That we definitely want. And that will be good for this side. Now over here, I don't know if I'm actually going to bring this up. I haven't decided what I'm actually going to do with this little chunk of the house. I basically have 2 ideas. I do know that the side over here where we've got, or where we will have this large glass curved window that comes out. I know this is going to be done probably on both floors. I think what I kind of want to do over here is only bring this one up to this floor and just call it good right there. I don't know that I want to bring it up any higher than that, but at the same time, part of me kind of wants to. So I think we'll leave that alone just for the time being. We do need to come over to this portion of the house and figure out where our windows are over here. They should be lined up pretty much identically. And it looks like they are. So that is good. Now, we will have to keep in mind that that side of the house is going to have a roof coming down over the deck. So, that is going to be important to note. We can go ahead and start kind of, just marking windows, if you will. Like so. There we go. How did we end up off? We ended up off by 1. Oh, that would do it. It would help if I put in, windows that were the proper size. Okay, so we've got that all nicely marked now. And that is good. That is definitely a good thing. The next step is going to be to fill in a good chunk of these walls. And once again, I'm thinking we're going to go 4 high, 5 high? Let's sneak down here real quick and just see. These ones are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, basically, if you include this top roof level. So, I think we might have to go 6 high. That's pretty high. But that's okay. That's all right. So, let's start filling those in, and we'll just kind of, get over here, get around the little area. We do want to leave space for these windows, because this window is, as I said, going to come up all the way around. And I should have enough spruce wood to take care of this. So, I know that we already did one of these in this episode, but I think I'm actually going to do another time lapse here, and I will be back in just a moment. Alright guys, and we are back, and we've got all those walls nice and filled in. The next thing that we'll want to do is we will want to knock out the spaces where the windows are going to go. So, let's take those out. I can't remember. I want to say the windows were 3 high plus a staircase. So let's just take out all of these little bits right here. I just wanted to mark them so that we could find them easily. without a bunch of extra counting. Much like many other builders, I prefer to start with a kind of blank canvas, if you will, this wall, and then kind of carve into it rather than building this whole design around it. So, let's see. That all looks pretty good. We will need to take those out of there from when I fell, because, you know, there's always falling involved. Or at least most of the time. There's usually falling involved. Take all that out. This we can take out. In fact, we can pretty much take this whole little bit and just get it out of there. It's not the most efficient way of doing things, that's for sure, but it gets the job done, and that's the important thing. We're also going to look at windows over here. Now, this one might be a little bit tricky. And the reason I say that is because we have these roof connections here that we need to link up. And they need to connect right about here or so. We may have to shorten the windows on that side a little bit. We may have to... I don't know what we're going to do there yet. But I'm sure whatever we end up doing will end up looking great. I'll have to experiment with a few different things. Like, you know, one of those things being not putting holes in my floor. That's probably not something I want to be doing. And let's just go ahead and finish taking out this window as well. So, that looks pretty good. We've definitely got a nice little framework here. Let's head back down. We've got a lot of wood just lying around in the ground down here. Not doing anything. So I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and take a nap. Hopefully the creeper over there will not see us and will ultimately leave us alone. That looks pretty good. We do only have 2 blocks, though, between levels. I'm thinking what we're going to do is we're going to basically make that 3, at least for right here. Just so there's something between the, there's some dimension change between the window and the ceiling there. I think that looks better. And then this can become our middle block for the detail that we'll add to that later. So, that's looking pretty good. The next step, just because this has been bothering me for quite a while now, and this is not how it's ultimately going to look, but I'm really tired of jumping to get into the house, so we're just going to put a little staircase right there. The next step, I think, is to actually begin carving out a staircase up here. So, let's take this out. And there's a few different ways that we can go about doing this. So, first and foremost, we will need more oak than what we have, and we will need to head back up and probably start from the top and work our way down. I've found that that's usually the easiest way to do these types of things. So let's make ourselves a bunch of steps, maybe even a few more than that. And then we'll also want to make ourselves some of those. And that should be enough, I think. It's not going to be a giant staircase or a roof or anything like that. It's just a staircase. It's nothing super fancy. And I think what we'll do here is, let's see. If we start this, I think I'm going to change that up a little bit. I think we're going to start the staircase right here instead. We'll knock out this whole area. And then what we can do... Oh, can I reach? I can. Haha. Okay. So we'll get that staircase put in here. We can even come down a little bit farther to right here, I think. Ooh, except then we run into this problem. Because I don't want this, I want this to be a platform, and then everything else would come down the other direction. So now I'm changing my mind. I am changing my mind right now about that. What we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and put the first level of the staircase right here. I think that'll look much better. Ultimately, anyway, as far as the whole staircase is concerned. Because we're looking at the big picture. We're not just looking for the simplest way to do this. These windows right here are perhaps subject to change, depending on how the staircase goes. Now, right here is where I would want to take out these half slabs and put in a nice layer of those like this. The problem is, from the outside, there's this window that would make it look... Well, actually, I guess it wouldn't look that bad. Because it is actually a room. So maybe that actually wouldn't look too bad. Maybe we can do that. I don't hate it. We'll do something like that. So then you've got your stairs that come up to here. Yeah, I think that works. This probably needs to come back a little bit more. Just, you know, so we actually have a little bit of headspace, if you will. We could probably even go something like that. That might work better. But I think that'll do. I think that works for the staircase. Now, we will want to work underneath the staircase down here as well. Since this is actually going to be a room that people will be able to go into, I want to add some inverted stairs down in here, just for some additional dimension. And I think that works pretty well. So you've got a little Harry Potter closet, if you will. We've got our staircase that comes up. And we've got a lot of open space out there as well. What we do not have is a whole lot more time. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up right here. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I do appreciate it, and it really helps out my channel. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. There are links in the video description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, guys, thanks for watching. And I'll definitely see you next time. You know, we'll get that nice color contrast that we like having all along here. Now, we will want to obviously bring fences all around the edge of this as well. So that's what we're going to do next. We'll just kind of build it all around the edge.